let me share this to the New Flames group chat. Anyways, back once again. Well, hold on. Well, I'm a little geeking out. Why is it short? I don't know. I sadly can't just tell you why. Hold on. Since for some reason if you are wondering why I'm doing an IRL version, it's because normally my stream is kind of lagging, so I can't really do it this time. So just in case to help you all out, this time I'm probably gonna try to just go by my own TV. Anyways, since episode 1 part 1 is already done, we're gonna go to part 2 of New Flames, I guess. Now this episode is just a continuation easily of the previous part 1, obviously. Now, if you don't know what happens, it's basically just a continuation, not too big of an episode anyways, to actually understand about. It's basically just only trying to find a hospital this time, and he meets, well, one of the people who basically owns the hospital, and basically shows him where he's supposed to go to regenerate himself. Now after this, Only-san finds now actually meanwhile with the MC, obviously, this takes too long to even explain it. It's just some boring parts. Anyways, now episode 2 of New Flames. I guess. Alright. Yeah, I really did this though. I can explain myself. So about episode 2. Okay, anyways, so about episode 2 of New Flames is basically reconciled against, some random Asterios as well. It's basically just him getting, 4v1, but it's mostly shown in the manga short version that I posted on my channel. If y'all don't know that, but hey, I forgot about my manga as well, so I might come back soon after season 2 comes out. After season 2 comes out, I'm planning to kind of focus more on the manga since I can basically post that every day. Anyways, back to episode 3 of New Flames. Episode 3 is basically just the first ever transformation reveal based on Regosado's whole gimmick. Not to even show it. Back to where we're at right now. Now, it always starts off with the same thing every time. Oh, lordy. Now, this time it's actually color, it's just like episode 2. It first starts off with this guy who gets absolutely deviously one-tapped by a base Regrosado, which is not the strongest character, by the way, just like that. But since he's strong, Regrosado's much stronger now, he might be able to beat Horizon in base form. That's how fucking strong he became. Now we have to skip away to... That's what's happening. If you don't know what the hell is this is more of a thing that low rank Asterios have. It's not really that too special, you know. I was trying to say that this isn't too special of New Flame thing, that gimmick that y'all understand here. Now we gotta skip a bit later.
Time. Wait. I have something. Something feels off. Yo.
This is the reveal of Ragasado's first ever technique. It's not a form, it's a technique really. The Speed King form. It basically advances speed with with the absolute sacrifice of strength. The reason why is that even with strength or speed, it really does not depend. His attacks become faster, so realistically, his attacks do more damage than his base form attacks. So it's really more of an upgrade than a downgrade. That's already episode. That's already episode 3 covered. Now it's time to go to episode 4, one of the best episodes in season 1. Now we're gonna see the explanation on why he couldn't do it. Fun fact: I had to remake episode 4 because of how because it wasn't low key the thing, you know. It wasn't low key too good. But after the remake, now basically the Big Horizon is trying to has changed color as well to show more dominance upon meeting Reposado for the first time, and he's trying to kill him, Reposado, because Reposado is a really big threat, has big potential to even threaten the higher elite, the higher ups of the Asterios race, which includes the Commandians and the king of the Asterios, Apex, which has not been revealed yet, but hey, the name has been revealed, y'all know.
Do you really think?
Now, B Horizon is trying to be cocky until Regosawa appears with a form known as the One Eye.
I didn't.
The One Eye is an example of strength and dominance, an upgrade from the Speed King form, more to show on how how the evolved stone mind works. This type of form this time, instead of sacrificing anything, it sacrifices no drawbacks but gives more of boost. Now episode 5 part 1. Now episode 5 I'm explaining simply in simple terms for y'all to understand this. Episode 5 first starts off with Regasado when Olisam realizing they're not strong enough to take up Beyond Horizon yet, and Regasado has the potential of even beating Beyond Horizon really easily. It's just that his one eye form could run out really fast, so instead of trying to fight him one on one, like, well, most people try to predict since I actually asked. This time it's much more different. It's more of like Regasado planning this out in the first place. Fun fact, when in the training room, Regasado realized that he has a greater potential than any other person in the whole series so far. So what he has decided to do, he decided to train not only his body and speed, but his intelligence as well, just to make sure that he wins really easily. His prediction allowed him to win against both the Horizon and Death in an actual fight to the death. And that's why the fights against the Horizon and Death weren't too long. He already analyzed them since the first encounter. It won't be don't worry, it won't be the same thing for season 3. Season 3 is Regasado's first ever inconvenience, and where his adaptability and intelligence is really unsuitable for number 3's danger and destruction. Now, to continue episode 5 after training, 2 weeks later, Regasado and Lois then finally get out of the training room just for B Horizon to also find out things his men to literally locate Regasado and Onisam just to find them. Now a secret scene in part 2 is that now in part 2 there's a kind of a secret scene where it shows Death for the first time. A tall figure with a hat, with a kind of hat like they use for winter, with his higher up being commanded the one revealed much later in the series. Now, in episode 5, part 3, is where Record Solo and only Sam start easily soloing the absolute fuck out of a lot of Asterios, leaving the 10th Asterios on leaving the 10th soldier under the horizon, and the horizon himself left to the counterattack of Regosan Onisan. After that, Regosan Onisan decided to travel all the way to Japan, all the way to Egypt. Well, not really Egypt, but some wasteland inside of the future part of Japan, just to find themselves against two beings, which are the strongest ones under B Horizon's command. B Horizon against Regrosado, and the 10th Soldier against Onisam. Which, if you realize, Onisam has barely braked sweat against them. Now, I'll not explain their fight too much, and it's already a brutal annihilation for some reason. Barely even lasted a minute. But it barely lasts long, you know. It's not too good to worry about the episode like 5 part 3 for now. No, so part 4. So after that, episode 6 rolls in, which happens at the same time as episode 5 part 4. No, episode 5 part 4 episode 6 takes place. It's the fight of Reversado versus Blue Horizon this time. So after the fight happens, well, it doesn't take that long since Reversado has already analyzed all. Alright, so I can explain more now, I guess. Is anyone even still in the stream? Episode 6 happens, and the fate of Horizon is shown. Episode 5 so rolls around with two POVs. The POV of Rosado meeting at the facility, where the leader of the facility is his sister, Key, which, yes, she was missing as a child, also taken care of by the scientists, and actually trained to become the strongest member of their society. Only Sam, since he's been badly injured by the Horizon after he had taken an attack, had to go to another chamber, healing chamber, to recover. Now, after this, exactly while this was happening, the Horizon was really not happy with his loss against Reversado. But as the good friend he is, the Horizon doesn't really care at all and knows he's going in against Reversado next, and he said that he was gonna easily take care of Reversado. Spoiler warning: he did not easily take care of Reversado. He failed really miserably. Anyways, back to explaining. Episode 7 part 2 also shows the full design of number 3, U.W.U, and Hex, which are two new Asterios under the lead of Commander D1. Higher than even Death and the Horizon. Now, for now, there isn't too much shown. Also, as well, Commander D1's finally been fully shown as a dangerous character instead. The anti-Sado's finally also been fully shown with the red cover effect to not fully cover him too much, but that's only in the dark version, so you don't really know what actual color he is for now. Anyways, after episode 7. After episode 7 happens, the facility, the FSOH, has planned to take Rosado and Elisa and Key to adventures to defeat Death. Since they've already analyzed Death's attack patterns and how similar it is to beat Horizon, the defeat and how they analyzed Rosado as well, knowing that he wasn't going all out against beat Horizon, the chances of him beat Horizon of Death actually being defeated by Rosado was greatly I want to say again, advanced by, well, no, increased by a lot thanks to the One-Eye Mastery. Now, when that was happening, apparently when Rosado was sleeping, he somehow bumped his head. Yes, he bumped his head to gain more intelligence. His brain sensed this and decided to send more of his brain cells to make sure he doesn't lose any of his intelligence. Thanks to that, since it's a stone, evolved stone to be exactly sure, he didn't get any damage, and he wouldn't have got any damage in the first place. But since his brain has decided to randomly say that he's damaged, he actually gained more intelligence thanks to that as well. Thanks to the scientists also finding out more of his brain power. He's basically gotten much smarter in terms of attack patterns. And Onisama's gained ability as well, regeneration finally, so he wouldn't get injured really easily. Now after the three went to the planet, all of them split up, and Rosado was apparently supposed to set up the tent, which was a whole ass facility technically. And after he said he coincidentally met Death and they started one-on-oneing. With Death clearly not having the other hand here. Rosado missed his first attack. Rosado missed his attack to easily injure Death at that moment. In episode 9, he basically tried to warn Olisam since he was the closest one to Rosado in terms of geolocation, in terms of echolocation apparently, since Rosado could actually sense beings from far by heartbeat. So realistically, after he found them, he realized that there was another person here, and it was not a nice person. It was an Asterios under the command of Death. So after the Asterios under the command of Death got eliminated, Onisama praised Rosado for his newfound abilities. So after this, they decided to go back. In episode 10, Onisama is seen training his One-Eye, since Rosado told him on how to get the One-Eye and to try to feel it. By feeling it, it means feeling the power rising from him from below, rising from him from the heavens at the same time, basically connecting him to a new chain of evolution. Now, after this, Rosado was asked Key why the hell is the tent, a whole facility, with Key really not responding to Rosado, because at the beginning, since they were more focused on their emotional bond of reuniting with each other. But after that, apparently, while Willis was training his One-Eye, he apparently accidentally found another Asterios inside of the facility he was training in a gym room. Now, after he got eliminated, they got a warning saying that Death was here. So Onisama, like a brave he is, decided to step out. So Onisama realistically tried to get Death, since Rosado was not fully locked in at the moment. He was on the One-Eye form. Realistically, he couldn't do anything against Death. And now, after this happened, since you were unaware of how much Death was capable of, Death has really bombarded the whole planet just really easily thanks to one attack that was not actually the strongest attack. Since his strongest attack was the laser he pulled in episode 11, part 2. Now, after that happened, in episode 11, part 1, they decided to recruit the scientists to actually help him out. And in death, he asked the Commander D1 on what to do, which was not really the good as far as advice, since Commander D1 is only focused on strategies, and since Death is more focused on intelligence and strategizing early, he decided to bring his group along just to try to see if he could counter Ricosado or not, since he doesn't know that Ricosado also has a group as well. Now, after the group came, realistically, Ricosado also found. Ricosado teleported the whole facility members to the planet, realized that it was corroded, and Ricosado met another time face to face with Death. After they've met again, Death is seemingly mocking Ricosado in the facility and the FSOH that they aren't strong enough to even take care of their army. And after that, Ricosado claps back with a new transformation, the true flow state. Not unlike any other flow state that you've seen in any other anime or a show, this flow state is much different. It's basically reaching your peak. Not really, well, since it's an evolved stone, it's not really the case with Ricosado. He has not reached his peak level yet, and it would never be his peak. He's just changed eye colors and also gained the technique of teleporting objects to his hands just to make them as weapons. He's basically used intelligence against Death, and after their fight commences, Death decides to go all out, starting with the fight with a magnitude of plasma cannons coming towards his hand, shooting Ricosado. In the process, but Ricosado in time knew that was going to come and decided to shield it. And after that happened, he decided using laser, which should have eliminated Ricosado. But since it's Ricosado, he obviously tanked it. And after tanking it, he decided to go for the same attack he used in episode 8 against, Death, and try to use the same attack, and it landed this time. After that, Death was heavily injured and teleported back to the facility. That is it for now in New Flames, and I'll catch you all on episode 12, and peace out.